As a natural lifter, how do you bulk up without getting fat? That's the question I'm going to be dissecting in this video. I just started my own bulking phase about a week ago. It's been a while since I've done a bulk, and I'm here at Chipotle right now. So let me feast real quick, and then we'll dive into this topic. What's going on, my Gooches? I'm really glad you clicked on this video. Welcome to my channel. If you do not know who I am, my name is Austin Pace. I'm a certified personal trainer, entrepreneur who owns my own online in-person fitness business, AMP Athletics. Basically, on this channel, I make a wide variety of fitness-related videos and topics and content. And basically, my life mission is to be the most relatable, best freaking personal trainer on the planet of Earth. And I've really learned a shit ton over these last few years of experience, education, research, trial and error, and just being a trainer. And this is really the first transformation I made for myself that made me fall in love with fitness and always itching to learn more. Before we dive into this video, all I ask is for you to smack that thumbs up button. And if you want to see me try the 10,000 calorie challenge once again, first time was brutal, but I will do it again once I hit 2,000 subscribers. So hit that subscribe button. We're getting close. I will for sure do it. That's a promise. Anyways, let's get into the video. I'm going to assume that you are probably aware that you must bulk up and gain weight in order to increase your muscle mass, which is why you probably want to learn how to go on a successful bulk. A few questions that I'm guessing you might have would be, how long should your bulking phase be? How can you bulk and minimize the amount of body fat that you will gain? And basically, overall, what exactly should you do to run a successful bulking phase? And basically, these mistakes unnecessarily made me more fat than I needed to be. You see, in my past, I thought the point of a bulk meant to eat a lot, and a shit ton. Also, I felt that there was no need to really track my calories at all, as long as I was just stuffing my face and eating anything in sight. And ultimately, this mindset just became a huge guessing game and really just made me gain weight way too quickly. And basically, in regards to my training back then, I thought that focusing on low rep, high intensity training and trying to increase my 1 rep max as high as possible would be the best way to add muscle mass. So going back to those 3 questions I think that you might have, my plan is to attack them with my best, most simplified explanation possible. So how long should your bulk be? See, the answer for all fitness questions is always, it depends. But in this case, I'm going to assume that the majority of y'all watching this video would consider yourselves to be a beginner to intermediate lifter. I think for 90% of people, dedicating the next 7 months to a bulk makes most sense. But you won't be gaining weight every single month. Let me explain. When I started doing more research and learning more, I got a lot of credible information and found lots of success from applying research done from Dr. Mike Israetel and the whole team from Renaissance Periodization. Now, when I started applying everything I learned, I typically would spend the first 2 months of my 7-month bulking phase in a caloric surplus, just enough to gain around a ½ pound to 1 full pound per week. No more than 1 pound per week, or else you will be getting fat too fast. During these 2 months, I trained with high volumes. The majority of my training volume was done using big compound lifts. Just like when I was trying to do strength training when I was bulking, I was focusing the majority of my volume using exercises like squats, barbell bench, barbell rows, deadlifts, simply because these lifts are the most disrupting and will give you the best bang for your buck rather than wasting a bunch of time doing lots of isolation and cable work. Now, the biggest difference was I started training these big movements in the 6 to 12 rep range. This rep range has been proven to maximize myofibular and sacroplasmic hypertrophy, which is the type of muscle growth that we are looking for. This ultimately will make you functionally stronger and will increase the size of your muscle tissue, which cannot be done when training with rep ranges and intensities lower than 6 reps. Now, I was applying progressive overload every single week by increasing my volume either through reps, weight, sets, and or the intensity. I did this every single week. My workouts were getting a little bit longer, a little bit harder, and I would include a deload week if I felt it was necessary. Now, this type of high volume training with these big, hard compound movements accumulates a lot of fatigue, which is why during month 3, I reduced my training volume substantially and went back to focusing on these same movements in that strength-oriented rep range, more of the 3 to 5 strength building rep range. And what this did is gave my body a break from high volume training, which can become stale if you stick to it for too long. Now, during month 3, when I was doing this lower volume training, I also lowered my calories back down to maintenance. Now, because I took this break from high volume training and gave my body a break from high calories, when I went back into month 6, I went back into high volume training. I increased my calories back into a surplus. I chose some different exercise variations, and I found myself progressing and responding to this training immediately. I also continued with this high volume training for month 5 and 6. So that's 3 months in a row that I continued with high volume training after month 3. I'm not gonna lie, 3 months in a row with high volume training with those big compound movements was a grind. And on month 7, I went back and repeated exactly what I did during month 3 to give my body another break from the high volume training. Now, I probably could have continued and done maybe 2 or 3 more months max in that high volume training state with higher calories after month 7, but I found that that 7-month phase was the sweet spot for me. So I pretty much just told you exactly what I did and the structure I used to run a successful 7-month bulk, but I want to explain to you why this works so well and how this is going to help you not get fat when you're bulking. You see, this allows you to break up your time spent in a caloric surplus gaining weight. Although I considered these 7 months a bulking phase, I really was only gaining weight in that calorie surplus for 5 out of the 7 months. Giving your body that 1 month reduction in calories helps level out your water retention, reduces bloat, and will resensitize your metabolism, which eventually will hit a wall if you spend too many consecutive months in that caloric surplus. Now, it's important for me to mention that I was tracking my calories during this bulk, and I think it's very crucial that you do too, at least for the first month, so you can gauge where that perfect caloric surplus amount is for you, so you are not gaining more than a pound per week. You see, people who get fat too quick during a bulk or just gain too much fat in general are those who aren't controlling their calories and they're gaining more than a pound per week. They're in way too high of a caloric surplus, and they also failed to ever take a 1-month break to reduce their calories to maintenance during their bulking phase. As far as the training, the periodization was key for my success. And this ultimately is because when you use high volume training with big lifts and you're in a caloric surplus, you're gonna maximize your ability to add lean muscle tissue. And the more lean muscle tissue you can add during a bulking period, the less body fat that will be gained from the weight that you are putting on. Now look, I understand science isn't sexy. A lot of people never go out of their ways to see and read about proven principles, science-backed principles in regards to training and diet. But in my opinion, if you're serious about this and you want to get the best results, you might as well use and apply science-backed research principles rather than just doing things that you think make the most sense to do when you're trying to bulk. You have to understand, the more muscle mass that you have, the leaner you will be at a higher body weight. And really what this means is if you were to gain 4 pounds of lean muscle tissue during your bulk, whatever your body weight was prior to your bulk, sitting at 10% body fat, would be 4 pounds heavier. Now, obviously, if you're spending 5 out of the 7 months in a caloric surplus and say you gain a pound a week like you should be gaining, you're gonna gain more than 4 pounds, but you cannot expect every single pound gained to be lean muscle tissue. Science has proven that in order to gain muscle mass, you must be gaining weight. So if you start your bulk when you're already pretty lean, you must accept that you will be losing some definition and gaining body fat in the process. It is short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. But you can minimize the amount of body fat you gain and not go overboard as long as you're tracking your calories, you're in that caloric surplus, not gaining more than a pound a week. If you can complement your nutrition with high volume training, that's going to maximize your potential for muscle growth. And if you implement those 1-month breaks where you reduce your training volume, give yourself a break from high volume training, and simultaneously reduce your calories to maintenance to allow yourself to drop some water weight and take a break from higher calories. Now look, I can make 100 more videos on like individual topics that I touched on in this video. So if you want me to dive into even more detail on anything in particular, please leave me a comment below. I will create the best content possible to help you get a better understanding of these concepts. I'm also gonna put a link in the description box to some of Renaissance Periodization's content and some of the things I touched on in this video for you to go read about yourself. Anyways, I hope this video made sense and was very applicable for you to be able to structure and develop your own plan of attack for a successful bulking phase. If you wanna connect with me even further, hit me up on Instagram. I'm posting daily content, and if you wanna send me a message, I'm always willing to have a chat, say what's up. Until then, thank you so much for watching this video. Leave it a thumbs up, leave a comment below for any future videos you want to see. I will see you in the next one.